Hare Krishna. The following video contains the essential points from the first chapter named as Throughway to Happiness. To know the full chapter, you must read the book that is On the Way to Krishna. Click on the giving link in the description box below. Everyone is searching after happiness, but we do not know what real happiness is. Very few people know that platform of real happiness is beyond temporary things. Developed consciousness can perceive happiness and distress more intensely than an undeveloped consciousness. For example, trees have consciousness but they are not developed. They may stand for a long time but they have no way of perceiving miseries. If human beings were asked to stand like a tree for 3 days or even less, he would not be able to tolerate it. Every living being feels happiness or distress according to the degree of development of his consciousness. What is the highest happiness? Shri Krishna tells Arjun in Bhagavad Gita 6.1.
Sukham atyantikam yattad buddhigrahyam atindriyam veti yatra na chaivayam sthitas charati tatvata.
In that joyous state, one is situated in boundless transcendental happiness and enjoying himself through transcendental senses established. Thus, one never departs from the truth. Buddhi means intelligence. One has to be intelligent if he wants to enjoy. All the body parts may be present on a dead man, but he cannot enjoy. Why? Because the enjoying energy, the spiritual spark, has left the body and therefore the body has no power. If one looks further with little intelligence, he can understand that it was not the body that was enjoying, but the small spiritual spark that was within. If a man is offered the dead body of a beautiful woman, will he accept it? No, because the spiritual spark has left the body. Not only it was enjoying within the body, but it was maintaining the body. The conclusion is that spiritual spark is not impersonal. It is an actual person. God is an actual person and the spiritual spark, being a fragmental part of him, is also a person. One who is actually intelligent will refrain from the flickering sensual enjoyment of this material body and fix his enjoyment in spiritual life. In India, there is a story of a man who did not know what sequences was and told that it was very sweet to chew. Oh, what does it look like? He asked. It looks like a bamboo rod, someone said. So the foolish man began to chew all the kinds of bamboo rods. How can he begin to experience the sweetness of sugarcane? Similarly, we are trying to get happiness and pleasure, but we are trying by chewing this material body. Therefore, there is no happiness and no pleasure. It is temporary pleasure. The process of establishing ourselves in real happiness in this process of Krishna consciousness. By Krishna consciousness, we can gradually develop our real intelligence and naturally enjoy relishing spiritual happiness as we make spiritual progress. If someone or the other one is promoted to that stage of Krishna consciousness of understanding absolute truth, what is the result? Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita 6.22.
Labdhva cha param labham manyate nadhikam tata yasmin sthito na dukkhena gurunapi vichalyate.
Upon gaining this, he thinks there is no greater gain. Being situated in such a position, one is never shaken, even in midst of greatest difficulty. Krishna consciousness is so patent that a little taste can save one from a greatest danger. The yoga process is meant to control these senses. If we can manage to control the senses, we can turn our face to actual spiritual happiness and makes our life successful.
Yato yato nischalati मनश्चञ्चलम् अस्थिरं ततस्ततो नियम्यैतत् आत्मानि एव वशं नयेत्.
From whatever and whenever the mind wanders due to its flickering and unsteady nature, one must certainly withdraw it and bring it back under the control of self.
प्रशान्तमनसं हि येनं योगिनं सुखम् उत्तमम् उपैति सन्तराजसं ब्रह्मभूतम् अकल्मषम्.
The yogis whose minds are fixed on me verily attains the highest happiness by virtue of his identity with Brahman. He is liberated, his mind is peaceful, his passions are quieted, and he is freed from sins. When the mind is finally trained to the point where it will think of nothing but Krishna, it will attain peace and will become very tranquil. We must engage in Krishna's service every moment of our lives in order to keep restless and turbulent mind from dragging us from one object to another in a vain search for happiness in temporary material world.
युञ्जन् एवं सदात्मानं योगी विगतकल्मषः सुखेन ब्रह्म संस्पर्शम् अत्यन्तं सुखम् अश्नुते.
Steady in self being freed from all material contamination, the yogi achieves the highest perfectional stage of happiness in touch with Supreme Consciousness. Krishna is within us and is waiting for us to turn to Him. But we are too busy passionately eating the fruits of a tree of material desire.